Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all. What's up, y'all? How y'all feeling, yo? Good to see you, good to see you, good to see you. Man, how y'all let Mr. Elaborator get first, yo? What's up, Mr. Elaborator? I see you on here, yo. You've been on here for like a good 5 hours, yo. Respect, yo. How you doing? Good to see you. Yo, what's up, Trackstar? I see you. Man, look, y'all. Our family league friends, they rolling in now. I see them coming in. Y'all don't play, do y'all? Y'all wait to the exact minute that you got a log war, yo. Y'all is not playing. Y'all waiting right to the exact minute. What's up, Lenata Activist? What's up, Marta General? How y'all feeling? Y'all, this about to be a good session. This is about to be a good session. I'm actually excited about this one because, like, just this topic is so important. And being able to have a youth perspective on it, like, just like really takes it over the top. So I just can't wait to really get into it. We're going to let our family league friends roll up in here. I see them coming. What's up, family league people? Raising Chai Hill, what's up? I see you. How you doing? Good to see you. What is that, Taylor Nisi Poo, or that's the other Taylor? What's up, Taylor? Hey, Carlos. My family league friends rolling in here. What's up, Finn? I see you, Dorian. Hey, Shania, what's up? Good to see y'all. Good to see y'all. Y'all making y'all. Yo, my family league friends, man, they wait right into the exact minute, don't they? What's up, DC Pooh? I see you on here. Good to see you. Good to see you. Carlos, I'm blessed, man. I can't wait for this conversation. It's an important conversation. What's up, Abby? Yo, we are really going to go in today, and y'all going to appreciate the heartbeats that I brought with me today. So our topic, like, really is around how do you create space for dialogue about those hard things like social justice, political issues, and all that type of stuff. We're going to go in. Y'all heard me. What's up, Victoria? Hey, y'all. Okay, shout out Ace High School. Man, listen, for my family league friends, right? Before we get this situation popping, and I hardly ever do this. This is probably going to be a first. But my family league friends, I want to treat somebody to lunch. I want to give somebody a $25 cash app. If you were on the town hall last night, put in a chat one thing that you learned from the town hall last night. If you were on the town hall last night, my family league friends only, heartbeats and the young people that's on here, you can't cheat. Don't put nothing in the comments. You can't cheat. My family league people only. I'm treating somebody to lunch. Put one thing, give me one thing in the comments that you learned from the town hall last night. That our children are. Hey, Carlos trying to cheat, yo. Get your mans. Get your mans. He tried to cheat. One thing that you learned from the town hall last night. I can see now, y'all didn't even show up for these babies, yo. Y'all didn't even show up for these. Nobody was there, yo. Nobody came. Then we need to be in the hall of the town. Bye. Get your mans. Bye. He ain't lying. Hey, you know what? Y'all ain't show up for them babies. I know. Hey, Mr. Elaborator, get on them because we told them the other day to come to your town hall, and now we see that they didn't even come. But it's all good. I might give y'all opportunity to redeem yourself by the end. I thought I was going to buy somebody lunch. Anyway, go get your popcorn. Go get your Kool-Aid, your apple cider, whatever you're drinking. and get ready for your training. Get ready for your training. I'm sorry to disappoint anybody who thought they was coming to some boring session and I was going to take you through all these PowerPoint slides and all this stuff like that. My apologies in advance if you thought that that's what your training was about to be. Nah, yo, we about to really get in there. You heard me. We about to really go in. So look, let me start by introducing some of these heartbeats that I brought with me today. What's up, Mandy? What's up, Karima? Track star, how you feeling?
Hey, and I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. I can't complain. Lenata activist, what's up? How you feeling?
Hey, I'm feeling good. Feeling fine.
Good, good. Good to see you. Marta General, what's up? How you doing?
What's up? What's up? I'm doing good. I'm doing great today.
Y'all, is it me or is my man's like glowing for real? He got that growth glow, don't he?
Yeah, he glowing.
I love to see it. Well, thank y'all so much for carving out some time to have this important conversation. And to be totally transparent, I picked y'all specifically for this conversation because y'all are like some of the heartbeats who actively want to talk about those hard issues. Like when stuff is popping off, I can count on y'all to be right on my phone. Like, can we talk about this? Can we do a session about this? And like, that's not common with a lot of young people. Like, a lot of young people tend to just kind of follow the trend and get in where they fit in. But you all have really shown leadership in the aspect that you want to initiate those conversations and also have other young people join in. So I'm really excited to hear from you guys and to allow my family league friends to hear from you guys as well on this important topic. Can we start with some introductions? And Trackstar, we can go with you first.
All right. Hey, everyone. My name is Zion Pittman. I'm a Healing Youth Alliance ambassador, the president of the Youth Advisory Board, and also a part of Heart Smiles. I'm a Heartbeat, of course. But I'm also the CEO and founder of Accessories by Kai. And I'm excited to like get into this conversation because like looking at the questions or whatever, I would just go on and on my keyboard. So yeah.
Yes, I love it. Thank you so much. And Marta General, can you introduce yourself, please?
Hey everyone, my name is Mar, aka Marta General. I'm 15 years old. I attend Crystal Ray High School. It's a private school here in Baltimore, Maryland. I'm the vice president of the Youth Advisory Board, and yeah, I'm so excited to be here with y'all today. Don't mind the bird in the background. We just got a bird last week, y'all. So please don't mind the bird. But y'all, I'm so excited to be here with y'all today, and I hope y'all enjoy the session.
Thank you so much. Yo, the bird in the back, like Black Lives Matter. Okay, Birdie. Lenata activist, can you do an
Hey,
intro,
y'all.
please, for my family league friends?
Yes, I can. For the people that also do not know me, my name is Lene, or y'all can call me Lene Activist. I am a Healing Youth Alliance ambassador. I am a social justice advocate. All that grateful and beautiful things. That's what I am. And I'm almost not a president no more. So, I'm pushing it.
Get the shopping cart. She pushing it. Thank you. I appreciate it. And welcome again, y'all. All right. So, my first question, when it comes to addressing social justice issues and other hard conversations, like why do you personally want to engage in those types of conversations? And we can just kind of keep the order. Trackstar, you could go first.
Okay, so personally, I like to engage in conversations like this because it's an everyday thing that we see for years now that social justice or our justice system in the U.S. is not a justice system at all for minorities or whatever like that. So just saying the things that happen to like African American people, Mexicans, things like that, it's just really disturbing. If we call our justice system the justice system, when we're not getting justice at all. So it's just something like we say it every day and it can affect our mental health a lot, like just saying it. So when we do say it, it's kind of like what are we about to do? So just me just being in conversation like this, making like advocating or making this a topic coming about, it's kind of like makes me feel good about myself, because it's just like I'm advocating for me, my people, my brothers and my sisters that live with me on a daily basis. Because I do want to see a change when it comes to the justice system, even if it takes years long after I'm gone. But I just want to know, I just want me to have that name of Zion did something to make a change or to start a change when it comes to our justice system. And advocating for change, because there's a lot of times where the white man's not going to get not going to get as harsh of a punishment as a black man or a black woman would. So yeah.
Thank you so much. A lot of important points there. Marta General, what about you? Like, why do you personally want to engage in these types of conversations?
When it comes down to addressing social justice issues and other hard conversations, I know that I want to engage in these type of conversations because it's getting closer to equal rights and equal opportunities. Over generations, there has been so much discrimination based on people identity, sexuality, and all kinds of things like that. And sometimes I change that social injustice into racial injustice, just because it had been years of the same issues and nothing was set to be done to fix these issues at all. So as a black man, I want to find ways to give back to the community, because not many people out here in Baltimore or in the United States giving back to their community. And I know that for me to do that, I know I'm helping them. And the African American community needs to someone to help them and not judge them at all. So yeah, that's the answer to my question.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. Lene, the activist, what about you? Why do you personally want to engage in these type of conversations?
Okay. The reason why these, especially because these conversations are more so important, is really to educate and to learn. A lot of people learn from a lot of other activists, other people, when it comes down to these topics, because someone in a rural area that has never experienced social injustice wouldn't know how someone in an impoverished area would, go through these things. And it's so important for me to talk about this is because letting people know what's the issue, letting people know, the problem, letting people know we can solve this is phenomenal. But people have to be willing to learn. And that's why I want to open up the space, because as a young Black woman, young Black female out here in Baltimore, and even just in America in general, you don't see a lot of that. And even if you do, we're shut down and we're, quiet, because someone is always trying to shut us up. So having these conversations in different parts and areas of whatever social injustice, economic injustice, racial injustice, like Mara had mentioned, is very, very important. We need to have this so that way people feel comfortable and people feel, welcome and open to even talk about issues. Because if people can't talk about these issues, then we're never going to get anywhere with trying to move forward. All we're going to be doing is repeating the same history over and over again.
Yeah, thank you so much. So many important points. Let me preface this next question by first saying this. We all know that it was an incident when the George Floyd riots were popping off. Somebody from a Baltimore City school had basically posted something saying that the teachers and the people in that space, they weren't being supportive and they weren't allowing space for the students to talk about how they were feeling, to talk about the issues and all that. The post went viral. Went crazy viral. And then the school kind of came back and said, well, no, that's not what happened. We was creating space. I mean, we know how some of that stuff goes sometimes. So without naming names or anything like that, but just thinking about those types of spaces, outside of your home, when you're thinking about school, at programs and things like that, when you are with trusted adults, why do you think that it's important to have spaces for those hard and difficult conversations? Trackstar, we can start with you.
To be honest, I feel like no youth wants to be somewhere and feel like they can't talk. Because if you think about it, I know Lene, she's really heavy on this topic, right? histories, our ancestors were not able to talk. If we talked, you're either gonna get killed, die, or get beaten, dramatically, or things like that. So for us to be living in the world we are today, we should feel like we have a voice to talk. We have a place at the table because we're here just like older people are, as young people. So for us to, again, like I said in the last question, for us to see what's going on, for us to hear what's going on, that means we have the opportunity, or we have the vocal cords that we have, because we need to talk, and things like that. And if we don't have the safe space, it's just kind of like it's going to be a burden on us, because it's just like you want to talk, like for school, for example, for school, you want to talk about how to add or whatever like that. But how about we talk about what's impacting us? What's I'm not saying school doesn't matter, but what's in a society that probably stop us from being focused on school, like just having a place or the people to hear us out, or to understand where we're coming from, understand why we do the things we do, or just understanding us, period. So yeah.
Thank you so much for that track star. I love that. Marta General.
All right, so if you're in the chat and you work at a school or you have a program of yours, you need to bring these conversations up. Like, we all live different, we all have different feelings, but we all bleed the same, we all cry the same. Having conversations about this, like, it gives like the youth, like, like availability to trust y'all and respect y'all. Adults need to move toward the problem and not away from the problems. And why I say that, because sometimes adults, they don't like to bring these issues up, and like they watch these things on TV, they see it on social media, but they have students coming in the classroom, feeling bad, and sometimes because of the issues that's happening in America right now, you know, us teenagers, we have feelings and we start, showing off, or we start, having behavior problems and stuff like that. So if I can't trust you or sit down with you and talk about these issues in America, why you think I can just sit down with you and talk about my behavior? Like, that's not going to happen, because we care about these issues. And not only like we impacted by these issues, but we have younger siblings, we have older siblings that, we worry about every day when we go to school, and we all come back to the same household. And the teachers need really or program organizers, they need to stop hiding behind the wall about these issues, because these issues are very important, to the youth, especially because we the upcoming generation. We have younger people looking at us, and at this time we need adults to help us out, because sometimes we're not sure if we feel guilty about these situations, because we was born and raised, we came in this world black African Americans, and sometimes like we be confused on the way how we get treated sometimes. And a lot of a lot of young kids, they see these issues, they hear about these issues, and they never know why it happens to African Americans. So just bring this up in the classroom, even if that's not a part of your teaching dialogue, or that's not part of your agenda. Bring this up in the classrooms, because this is so important.
Yeah, thank you so much, Marta General. And hold that, because we're going to get into that too, about why adults shy away from those type of conversations. So thank you for bringing that up. But Laneta Activist, I definitely want to get your thoughts on that too. Like, why do you think it's important to even have that space in the first place, to have these conversations?
Okay. Just for the dialogue and the learning
Audio.
Oh, it's still bad.
It's an absolute. All right. We're gonna let her get her audio together. But while she's doing that, can you elaborate just a little bit more, Marta General, on why you think it's hard for adult supporters in those spaces to create that space to have those difficult conversations?
So I believe that because they don't know how we feel, and sometimes a lot of schools, they can't speak outside of the agenda, or speak outside of what they teach in the classroom. And that's why so many people are shutting down history and things about that's happening in America today, because they don't want that to be involved in their classroom. But we are human beings. Like, we go through so much issues, um, personally, mentally, physically, and sometimes these teachers, they don't understand. Like, because we're coming in a classroom, they can sometimes see how we act, but they except for like asking us, oh, how you doing today or how you feel, they straight to call the principal and say, oh yeah, come pick up the student. And I've been seeing that for years. Like, it's really crazy when teachers and other people do that. And you know having these conversations can really like open our hearts up to the teachers a lot, because sometimes we don't even want to talk to our parents. We don't even want to talk to the principal about these issues. We don't want to talk to our aunts or uncles, because sometimes like they won't understand themselves, because they have been feeling the same trauma we have been feeling. And we're young. We're 15, 14, 13 years old. So I think that's why so many people are like, shying away from, experiencing these issues.
Yeah, thank you so much. What are your thoughts on that, track star? Like, why do you think some adult supporters just shy away from having those conversations just altogether?
To be honest, I think it's because they don't want to face the truth. Because like I said, it's a like observing like me and my siblings and my peers and things like that. We see a lot, so that means we know a lot. And I feel like the truth that they don't want to face is that we do know a lot. We know more than they think we know. Um, they don't want us to know more than them, or because they're gonna feel intimidated and things like that. So it's kind of like, well, I'm not going to give you this space or whatever like that. Or they're scared to hear what other people say. Or they're scared to lose their jobs because it's not taught in our curriculum to teach us about Black history. We were taught about people that was in South America and things like that. We're not actually taught about, okay, the culture of Africans, because that's where our ancestors are from, our descendants are from. We're not taught stuff like that. And I think they don't want us specifically. I think the white men don't want us to know much about our history because that means they're scared they're going to get overpowered by us. Also, so with us, like knowing that we're from Africa and these are the rituals that we have done, things like that, and we know that we're more powerful than that they allow us, or that we think we know. So if I'm coming in a room and I'm smarter than a white man, like being honest, in the U.S., I probably don't get that job, or I probably get discriminated by because a white man don't want a Black woman being smarter than him. Like, how would that look on him? And things like that. So I think it's just all about facing the truth. And that's why they shy away from the conversations.
Sheesh, you dropped a whole lot on us, and we're gonna have to come back to something you said too. You kind of scratched the surface on like people just being intimidated by young people when they feel like that they might be smarter or they know more, like because that's a real thing. They want to shut you down because they got the authority but can't have the conversation because they don't have the knowledge. That's an important one. Thank you for bringing that up. Lene the activist, are you back with us? Please say yes. Yes, thank the Lord. Thank all of the Verizon gods and the T-Mobile angels that saved you. Yes.
AT&T.
Okay, the AT&T gods. Thank y'all. So look, I really need to get your answer.
Okay.
Can you tell us why you think that it's important for adult supporters to have those spaces in the first place where you can talk about those deep issues?
Because a lot of adults are smarter than what they think they are. And that's a great leverage for kids who do want to learn. So it's important for like adults, especially my African American teachers and my African American adults who do know their history, but try to sway away from like allowing kids to like know certain things, and especially like sugarcoat certain things. Because I don't believe in sugarcoating information from a child, because one way they're going to find out, and it's important to just have that correct dialogue regardless, and having a open space where someone actually wants to learn, and adults need to, I'm not going to say like figure it out, but like they need to figure out what's the appropriate standpoint when approaching certain topics too. Because you can be in first grade and you can learn about the different social justice activists. And then when you get to like 6th grade, you can start learning, everything there is about like slavery and the correct terms and the correct things. And I'm not even saying slavery, I'm talking about chattel slavery just in general. And then when you get to high school, I remember when my mom said she learned about Malcolm X. High school, our teachers don't talk about Malcolm X. They talk about the same things over and over again. I think that's important to, when you talk about these topics, teach them new things every time instead of like talking about the same things. And then, like Zion said, some people are also intimidated by us. For the ones that actually know our history and for the ones that, actually know stuff, they are intimidated. If I was to walk up to a white man and tell him about my history, he's going to shut me down, or he's just not going to listen because that's what he chooses to do. If it was a black woman and she's in disbelief that she thinks because I am a young child, I don't know anything. I'm so young. I am a young woman. You need to stay in your place. Because it is a lot of black women out here like that do believe a young black woman like me should stay in my place and not really like attend in those areas. You should be, a housewife. You shouldn't be doing all that. And even a lot of white men too. It's people out here that are like that. You see it on social media. The women are like that. It's crazy. You'll be surprised at how many people are actually like that. But I do give, my round of applause to people who are willing to teach us and have those open places and those open spaces, because there's not a lot of people out here like that. Like for me, I had to learn through books. I still have my first book about, the history of black people from the time we were kidnapped to the time of when Obama was elected. I still have that book. I have my new Jim Crow book. I have White Fragility book. I have to learn those things through books because no one is able to have those conversations with me because I haven't found that right adult who knows a lot. So having those open spaces, allowing people to, talk and stop shutting people down. So that's my answer because it's a lot of people.
Thank you so much. And I definitely got to follow up on something you said, but I want to let Marta General jump in here real quick.
I love how both of y'all bring up, like, that adults are intimidated by us. And that's why I feel like, us young people, we have so much to offer. And sometimes adults, they are very blinded. And that's why we don't trust them like that because, we're offering so much in your classroom outside of school as well. And, we're not going to keep on asking y'all to, like, show us what you're going to do about these issues. Can you bring these issues up? Because it's like, if you told me no the first time, I'm not going to keep on asking you. I'm not even going to waste my breath on you. And that's why, more program leaders and, people, teachers in the classrooms, they need to start, taking steps. And a lot of teachers and people that run programs, they take their first 3 steps and they fall over down the stairs because, they give up. They give up on us. And at this moment, we don't need teachers and these adults to give up on us. We're the next generation. We are the future. If y'all give up on us, we give up on ourselves. And that's why so many young people are turning to the streets. Like, they always say that if you can't find love at home or in schools, they go straight to the streets. So, yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, Marta General. So important, especially coming from a young black man on that issue about people choosing the streets. Like, I don't even want to go in. Lene and Trackstar, both of y'all made mention that you feel like, and you said specifically like a white man like might try to shut you down. Have y'all had that personal experience? Like, is that where that's shaped from, or y'all heard about it from other people? Like, I just really wanted to know from a personal perspective, like, has a white man tried to shut y'all down before?
It's kind of like, it wasn't me, but I was in a room, if that makes sense. So it was like an experience. I forgot what we were talking about. It was a couple years ago. And they were basically asking, "Oh, what do you think we should do about this?" And we'll give them examples. Oh, this is already put in place, or da 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 da. whatever like that. And I'm like, you came here to ask me for advice. So you saying what's already put in place, clearly it's not working. So for you, I feel like when it comes to us making, first of all, we're young, black, living in Baltimore. For us to make these awesome ideas or awesome ways of what's going to help us, it's like, oh, I didn't think of that. And then next thing you know, it's being used, but you're not getting your credit. Or I came to this school and they said this, but next thing, like a couple years later, you see it being used, whatever, like that, or that idea being used. So just kind of like, okay. So and I feel like I see that in a lot of like shows and things like that. The same exact thing happened. You give an idea. Oh, that's not gonna work, da 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 da. Next thing you know, they're using that.
Wow.
Just like a black girl came up with that. That thing from Baltimore. So just like, okay. So just like if you don't, that's what made me learn. Like if you don't do it yourself, then it's no point of sharing it, things like that, because somebody's gonna steal your idea. Like lately I've been I'm not gonna say exactly what I've been working on, but been working on stuff or whatever like that. And it's like I really don't want to share with no adults, nothing like that, because I don't want to be the one who gets my idea stolen again, if that makes sense.
That's crazy.
So yeah.
Yo, that's crazy. We're gonna need a whole session of just calling people out. Lene, the activist, what about you?
Verizon guards. I'm just saying the connection. Oh my god.
No, it's fine. I mean, it's better. It's good.
Y'all can see her?
He ain't talking to us. He having a whole side conversation. Yeah, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that that follow up. But it definitely is a shame that like y'all witnessed that and y'all are living through the experiences of other people. Like that's just a shame. Um, can you talk about a time where you wanted to bring up a hard conversation, but then you were shut down? Like, tell us what happened and how did that make you feel? Trackstar, we can start with you.
All right. I believe it was in school one time, and we were talking about, I think it was SGA or something like that, and we were talking about things like what's going to work for the school and things like that, and they be like, oh well, you can't do this, so yeah, we don't have the leverage to do that, and da da da. And I'm just like, I just kind of felt like irritated, because it's just like, we're the students, like why can't you accommodate to what we want to do, what we want to learn, or what's going to engage us into school and things like that. So it's kind of like irritating, because when you have the higher power and they can say, oh no to this, no to that, it's kind of like, what's the point of meeting with me then? What's the point of asking me, what do you want, or what do you think we need? And things like that, because just like, if we're not being heard, if nothing is being done, then what's really the point of you trying to say, like, it's the point of, oh, I came to talk to you for, I did this and the third, or just like, do you want us to feel like we're being heard? Because if no action is being done, or you telling me we already have this in place, we already have that in place, it's just kind of no point of you just coming to speak with me. If I feel like that you're not welcoming me to the space and actually listening to me.
Yeah, no, I definitely feel that. Marta General, what about you? Have you had an experience where you were trying to bring up a hard conversation and you got shut down?
Man, oh, I don't know if y'all can hear me, but I have brought up a hard conversation and I presented a solution as well. I was in ninth grade. I'm not gonna tell you what school I attended, but I was a freshman, and I wanted to have like a big sister, big brother program, and I had presented this idea to one of the admins at the high school, and basically like he said he was all for it, and he said that yeah we gonna do this and stuff like that, but he never put this in action. That's why I always say like we don't want to keep hearing y'all adults talking. We need to see some action, especially in the school system because. I'm not gonna get into that, but the school system is ridiculous. But yeah, and basically I always see him in the hallways, and I always used to walk by his classroom, and like he was ignoring me, like he wasn't like trying to talk to me about this idea, and this is why it's so important that y'all adults give us opportunities, like provide us these opportunities, like me, Zion, and Lene right now. We're talking about social injustice or social justice with y'all right now. And we need these opportunities so we can learn about these like different issues in America and present this to the younger people as well. Because right now I'm a junior. When I had asked about this opportunity that I wanted to do, I was a freshman at the time. So now I'm at a new school and I go to Crystal right now, and we're doing like a big Hornet, Little Hornet program next year, so we can talk about racism, and we can talk about social injustice. What's the other? We talking about a lot of other things like living in poverty and stuff like that, and how we can like help out communities in Baltimore because the community needs it. They need us because if we ain't gonna do it and these adults ain't gonna do it, who's gonna do it? So that's why it's best to like learn now. And my bad, my grandpa just walked in. But yeah, it's best to learn now and walk with faith throughout this whole journey and stuff. So yeah, and now I'm a junior. I'm ready to mentor freshmen now, so I'm super excited about this opportunity I got. And yeah,
That's awesome. So you wanted to specifically create the program at the other school when you were in ninth grade so that y'all could have conversations around social justice and political issues and stuff like that.
yes, definitely. And I wanted to do that because at the time I was bullied, and I wanted to change something in the school systems. I wanted to change something inside that school because I know I'm not the one that was getting bullied. It's a bunch of other African American kids or different race of kids, getting bullied out here in high school and middle school. And we lost so many kids due to suicide because of these issues. So I want to bring this to the table and make sure, like, you know, that we have a solution to fix these problems. If we don't have these upperclassmen teaching us, or if we don't have these upperclassmen protecting us, then we have to go to our parents. And sometimes we don't have parents that really care about us. Most of these parents be on drugs. They be smoking weed. They be on some other crack all the time. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Marta General. Lene, the activist, you back. Can you talk about a time where you wanted to bring up like a hard conversation and then you got shut down?
Can y'all hear me? Am I static?
Yes. It's perfect now.
Okay. Let's keep this for a good hour. Okay. Personally, me, I've never been shut down because I wouldn't let nobody get the chance to shut me down. Now, I don't know how that's going to be in adulthood because that could be a little bit different because you have a little bit more challenges. But no one has really given me the chance. I mean, no one has really shut me down ever because you're going to hear my mouth rolling. I like that's just me.
Somebody tried to shut you down and they was just unsuccessful.
Not really because of little tiny story time. I have a strong demeanor and a strong personality. So whenever I would be around people, or for example, when I was in elementary and stuff, I would used to always get written up for being too bossy. That would be on my calendar. Like y'all remember in elementary, y'all get put on like different colors. I would be on red for probably being too bossy. I have a strong personality. And that's where I used to be on like what's below red? It used to be too yellow.
It was a little purple.
Purple's like good. So it'd be purple, it would be like superb, then green, then you get two yellows, then you get an orange, and then red. I would be on red. You would not get the chance. And I used to get in trouble for that, yeah. But now that I think about it, that's a strong advantage for me now. Because of my strong personality and for how I go and I move. You can't hear me, can you?
No, I can hear you, yo, but Charles just brought up a recent example of where you did get shut down. That officer with the
Oh,
G
you're
channel.
right. I did get shut down by two people at the same time. And you know why? And I really think it's because he did G Channel did mention that it was because he didn't want me getting at him. That is right. I do remember that. Now that I do remember that, it kind of brings back like maybe I should have had a stronger personality then. But how I handled it pretty good. I just communicated with him saying like, don't do that no more. You know, it doesn't matter. You gotta let me roll. You gotta let me thunder. You gotta let it all out. Because if you don't, then I promise you, whatever I gotta say is going to be beneficial when it comes down to a lot of things that pertain with a police violence, police brutality. You know, social justice is policy that it has its advantages because I will never ever talk about something that I really don't know of ever. So having that now that I think about it, it's starting to click. But yes, I did, and that was by two people at the same time, technically. So yeah,
You was being ganged up on.
pretty much.
Yo, thank you so much for sharing that with us, and thank you, Big 16, for bringing that up because I completely forgot about that, but that was a big deal. Um, Let me ask y'all this: how do you know when you in a safe space to even bring up a sensitive topic or something that's hard to talk about? Track stuff.
I kind of with me, it's just like I read the room. Like people like it's like even through messages, I can tell somebody energy's off on the phone. I just can tell when somebody's in. Like I'm the type of person that like read somebody's energy. So if the energy there, like somebody have energy like you, Miss Joni, like oh come on, like this is a safe space for students, not students, well youth, whatever like that. I'm like okay, okay, whatever like that. Because you know when I first started Heart Smiles, I did not really talk at all like at all. But until like I saw more people talking or more people having the energy of come on, let's talk or encourage you to talk or calling on you to talk, it's kind of like, okay, I know this is a safe space where I can actually talk about stuff like that. Like a couple years ago, I would not come on here and talk about like personal issues or talk about what's going on in my life or whatever like that. But if the energy is in a room where I can like trust you and I feel like I can trust you, then I'm going to talk and I'm going to keep talking and keep talking and keep talking until it comes to a point like something that will stop me if I feel like you're not even doing nothing about what I'm talking about, if that makes sense. So just reading the energy in a room and reading the adults and things like that, being very observant. Like I'm quiet, but trust me, I observe everybody. I observe the room before I even start to talk. And that's why sometimes it takes me a while to start talking because I have to read. Like I have to get the energy and the sense of people. So yeah.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. What about you, Mother General? Like, how do you know when you in a safe space to even bring up sensitive topics like that?
When first, like what Zion said, like the energy, also honesty. You know, the adults have to be honest with us because we're not stupid at all. We are very smart kids. Like we see things, and like not only that, but basically like so many adults, like we have conversations with them, they love to talk a lot. They love to like interrupt us when we're talking, and they care about our feelings. They say they worry about our future, but sometimes like it don't be seem like that. I'm not gonna waste my breath on you if you're not gonna listen to me at all. Like if I'm having a conversation with you, it has to be genuine. You have to really care about the conversation, and you have to be honest as well.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. What about you, Lene, the activist? How do you know when you're in a safe space to have those hard conversations?
I never know. I'm gonna be blunt. I never know. You can walk into a space and they could be so welcoming. Then as soon as you go away, they talking behind you. So I never know. I try to wing it. Now, this type of space is different because I know this space. I've been with this space for over about to be 3 years, 4 years. Okay. I know it. But people can also switch up on you. So having those spaces that are welcoming can sometimes be, too good to be true. Because I do believe in that too good to be true. Like, you could be the most welcoming person, but you could switch up as soon as that right person come around you.
Mm.
So with me, I don't know. I tried, like Zion said, I try to read the room, vibe it out, thug it out, go however it is. But I also like to censor myself because certain words you just don't want to like lead someone else on with.
Yes, I love that. Thank you so much. And Marta General, I know you want to add on to that. Please go in.
All right, I want to shout out my man's Dorian because me and him just had this talk today about like people only care about you when they're in front of your face, but after that conversation done, they don't care about you at all. So just keep that in mind. Like they only gonna care about you when you're in their presence and stuff like that. When they go home, they got their other issues going on. So yeah.
Sheesh. Go ahead, Track Star. Give it to us.
Okay, I don't know what it is about me, but okay, I had this thing when I first meet somebody, I'd be like, like, and then I'll be like, sometimes, okay, then there'll be a time like we get cool or whatever like that. Next thing you know, something happened. I'm like, I should have trusted my gut then. Because it was a reason why I didn't like, well, I wouldn't say didn't like you, but it's a reason why I knew not to like get close to you or whatever like that. And it happens every single time. Like every single time I be like, this is not going to be a good person. This is not, yeah. So just like sometimes like when I trust my gut feeling or whatever like that, it's always right. Always right. So it's just like if I walk up to you or whatever like that and I just get this vibe like, I'm not going to like you. I know at the end of the day, we're going to have a fallout or something like that because my gut is telling me you're not a good person. You really don't have nothing going for yourself. And you really are not genuine about me, or you could be genuine about somebody else, but you won't be genuine about me as time goes on. So for me, it just, I always had that gut feeling of somebody who's not genuine or who's not going to be part of like your feelings and things like that.
Sheesh. And you talk about adult supporters too.
Like, yes. Like it was a lot of people like we can meet people like councilmen and stuff like that. And I'd be like, you could say you're doing this or you could say you for the youth or whatever like that. I already know you're not.
Get the fire extinguisher for this live. Somebody get the fire extinguisher for this live right now. Oh my God. Yo, did you just say you could tell when the councilmen people don't care about you?
It's like it was this one okay. It was a couple when I was little. It would be people coming around like, oh yeah, get your mother to vote for me. I'm like, like, okay. I will never give my mother that paper. Ever. Never tell my mother to vote for them. Ever. Oh, we're gonna change this, or we're gonna change this in the neighborhood. What's some things you want in this neighborhood? Nothing really. We have because you're not gonna give it to me, so why have me talk? Like that was just always me. Like I can reach, like, I don't know what it is. That's my superpower, y'all.
Sheesh. Yo, it's too hot in here right now, y'all. Y'all, oh my gosh, y'all doing it. So look, think about a time where an adult supporter like did open up space for you to have hard conversations. Like walk us through like what happened in that particular situation, because some of our family league friends who are listening, like some of them might want to learn either how to get better at opening that space or like just how to do it, period, if they're not doing it. So can you walk us through one of your experiences where it actually happened and it was cool? Trackstar?
Winter Wednesdays, like right there. Winter Wednesdays, we walked into the room. I think it was the first day, and Miss England, like she got the vibe of healing. Like you can tell she'd been through things and she healed herself. And that was one of the first people, and it felt really genuine. And I think it was the fire bond thing when we ripped up the papers and things like that.
Oh yeah, that was one of my favorite things.
Yes. When we was in person, we did that, and that's when I felt like this is a safe space. Like I can talk to Miss England, I could talk to Miss Joni about anything, and just like having a room full of like tears and everybody just having the same feelings and things like that. That's definitely when I felt a safe space, because at first I was like, do I really want to say these things out loud? And then after I got everybody else, even the adults saying the things out loud, I was just like, okay, this is my space. This is where I can start opening up and facing my issues and facing my problems and things like that. And ever since then, I learned how to face my issues instead of running away from them, and actually addressing them and things like that.
Yes, thank you. So important. What about you, Marta General?
Man, I'm going to change my answer now. Yo, that is like, for real, like, that was like the best moment of my life. When I told you that was like emotional, but it was a great moment at the same time. I think that night, all of our connection grew closer because we was able to, like, hold each other, hug each other, and make sure we was good and stuff like that. Also, I want to say, like, if you like teaching at schools and stuff like that, Crystal Ray, they have opened up a space for these conversations. Definitely. Shout out to Ms. Merlehead, Ms. Delaney as well. Them two, and Mr. Jester, like, them three, like, every time you come to the classroom, the first thing they discuss is about, what's going on in America today and how you feel about that. And you want to take, like, meditation right now, or you want to, like, take a break right now. So, yeah, I really appreciate the adults like that, that really care about the young people and care about, like, what's going on in America. But they bring it into the classroom because they know that, that's an issue. And except for, like, hiding it, they bring it to the table. So I really appreciate it.
That's amazing. And we're going to get to Lene. And I'm going to come back to y'all too, because y'all about to host a Know Your Rights session, like a series. And that's all about political drama. So hold on to that. Lene, can you give us your experience on when, like, somebody did it right in terms of creating a safe space for you to have those hard conversations?
I don't know why you saying somebody like it's not you. Like,
Hey,
you keep saying somebody. Like, come on now.
Chill.
His name is Joni and her team.
Chill.
Okay. Well, yes, I'm definitely gonna have to agree with Zion and Mar, because, like, that whole day we came and we walked in that room 9 something. I forgot the rest of the numbers. Walked in there, we ate our food. Miss England welcomed us, and then I still need that whole session where we were supposed to be in that mirrors. I hope Miss England watching us.
I know the pandemic hit us.
But it's so comforting to know that when you are in that safe space, you are free. Because when we walked in there, we didn't really know what to expect. Like, Miss England gave us like a little, like, glimpse of this is what we're going to be doing, but that full on, we're going to be ripping papers, throwing trash, having to express how we feel. Now, me, I don't like expressing how I feel. I don't do well with feelings. Okay, I did a little teardrop. I ain't do no crying. I did a little teardrop. I'm gonna admit that, because I felt free from what a lot of barriers that were, like, placed on us, especially as kids and teens, because we do go through that, especially when it comes down, like, some people also have to go through survival mode, and some of us that don't really experience survival mode. And it's like seeing those different groups of people who went through different things, and that they felt so welcome and they felt so free. It felt warming because you were able to feed off that energy as well, and that creates a unlocked of a barrier. And that's it. It was definitely something I could really enjoy. And then especially, like, growth, like when we go on Focus Fridays and we just talk about different topics. That's another way of having open spaces, because if we're able to come to you for, like, how do we do this, or, like, even sometimes problems, it creates another barrier that is unlocked. So it's like these building blocks to safe spaces that leads to greatness. I should put that on the t-shirt.
I love that. That leads to greatness. Yes, yes. I'm gonna come back to you, Lene, the activist, after I speak with Ma and Trackstar, because you held some sessions talking about slavery, police brutality, the pipeline, the prison, like all that type of stuff. So we're going to get into that a little bit too. But coming back to Marta General and Trackstar, how are you guys even comfortable having a conversation like with your peers? And y'all gonna have about 200 young people with y'all about like know your rights. And like, first of all, what is know your rights? But Track Star, go ahead and start us off on that, and then Mar, you can follow up.
So lately, well, it's been like since last year I've been talking about you really don't know their rights. And it all started from when I was watching the Exonerated Five. They didn't know that they don't have to be present for them to talk. They didn't know what to do after somebody got brutally beaten or traumatized and things like that. And so it just hit hard because when I was little, I did not know my Bill of Rights and things like that, what I should know. So I was just like, definitely in Baltimore City, like they don't know not to talk. They do not know like not to say anything. They just don't know. So it came to a thing when Miss Alicia, she was like, what projects do y'all want to do? And I was like, I want to do sections of teaching youth their rights. And to answer your other question, I'm not comfortable at all. I mean, I think that's a good thing, but also it has to be a conversation from the youth to start talking about the topics that we're going to talk about. Because the topics we're talking about, they're really hard topics to talk about that a lot of people experience. And also it's topics that should be brought upon of. So just to think of just going through what you have to go through and just doing what you got to do, because somebody's going to need these conversations. Somebody's going to need to know like what to do or how to do it. And people going to need to feel that support system. And that's another one of my goals is after each session, like somebody can come talk to me about something after these sessions, because the first two sessions are going to hit the hardest, definitely. So, yeah, so I'm kind of nervous about it, but I know it's a conversation that needs to be brought upon us.
Yes, I love that. And I love the fact that you said that you're not comfortable, but it needs to happen. So thank you for that. Marta General, can you follow up on that?
All right, I'm gonna be honest too. I don't know if I'm comfortable either. Like these topics, when I tell y'all, like if y'all tune in, these topics are so difficult. Like I'm gonna have my camera off for a little bit because, these topics. Oh my god, you have no idea.
Can y'all share with us a little bit of the topics?
One of them is sexual assault, and another one is disability in Baltimore schools and disability in period. And we have some guest speakers that's gonna be coming on too. So when I tell y'all these topics, oh my god. But again, I don't think I would be comfortable either. But it had to be done. And I feel like it's great for us young people to get this out there because not too many young people know about rights at all. Like Zion said, I ain't learned about it till like 9th grade year. So yeah, I think it's very important.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait for those sessions, and they're gonna be here on the Heart Smiles YouTube Live.
Yeah.
So if our Family League friends subscribe, they can get a notification when y'all go live and have these important conversations.
Definitely.
Y'all, I can't wait. Oh my God. Thank y'all for that. And Lene, you do a lot of hard stuff too. The slavery, the school to prison pipeline, all that stuff. How are you comfortable having those hard types of conversations? Because that's not an easy thing to do.
It's not talking about those things at all, because it still happens. So it happens and it's swept under the rug, and it's like you just see a little lump on the rug, but you just can't address it. But I'm not really comfortable at all when we're talking about it. I mean, I am, but I'm not. Like, I can have it, but that doesn't mean that I really want to, but I know I have to.
Yeah.
Because it's like, if you go down the street and you see a black man being arrested, all I think about is, dang, what can I do to help him? Oh, maybe if I have talks with these youth, maybe that can, teach someone. And then also with know your rights. I want people to attend. And I'm about to tell people, a lot of these black men out here that's being incarcerated or even just put into jail, not even into prison, because jail is just a version of prison. It's just like a barrier or whatnot. You have to realize, I'm going to say for Baltimore County schools, when they talk about your rights in the 8th grade, they'll sometimes get you a police officer. And that's where the bias begins. That's exactly where the bias begins. Because I remember that day so vividly that made me want to talk about this stuff. I came into class and my history teacher, we were on the topic of police officers, right? We brought a police officer in and they gave us this little paper. Don't resist arrest, that, this, that. I was like, why y'all, like, I get that y'all saying this, but how about y'all do prevention matters where we don't have to encounter the police? And it was a whole bunch of black kids in the class, and it was like a few white kids. So it was very biased to the point where he didn't mention anything where if you get arrested, they're not going to say your Miranda rights. He lied to them kids. You don't get told your Miranda rights no more. You don't. And that's the truth. And you can go up in court and say that you didn't get your rights read to you. They're not going to care. People need to understand that your rights, just because they can read it to you, that don't mean nothing. They don't have to read it to you, because at the end of the day, you go ahead and you talk in that cop car, they're just going to still use it against you regardless. You don't even have to talk, and they'll still use that against you. You can be guilty because you're not even talking. You can be guilty just because you're talking. And then on top of that, let's talk about when you get arrested and you get in that room and they start questioning you and you're a minor. Oh yeah, go ahead and talk if you want to. They're going to use that right against you. And when your parent come, you didn't already talk. But children don't even know. Don't talk when you get interrogated. Kids don't know. If you're under 18, don't talk unless you got yourself a lawyer or someone who's a guardian after you. People don't know that. And that's why kids get themselves criminalized. That's exactly why they get
you giving us the whole lesson, yo. We wanted to know how. But track star, go ahead and get in there, and then Mom, I'm gonna let you get in there, and then we gotta get ready to wrap in a little bit, y'all.
All right. Oh, I was just gonna give a little story of why I'm uncomfortable of talking about things like that. So it was during election time or something like that, and I think I told y'all before, it was like a Thriving Thursday, and I was posting stuff about like the election and why this is that, and so people were throwing shots on that story or whatever, saying, "Oh well, it's no point of voting." I'm like, what? See, that's what's getting me. So another reason why is because sometimes I don't want to seem like a know-it-all, but it's just like simple things like, okay, we already went through this. You're putting yourself in a box by not voting, and you like, oh, I'm not going to vote because it's not going to matter. It does matter, even though some states have electoral college votes that it really doesn't matter, things like that. So it's kind of like hard when you don't have people as educated as you. And I'm not saying it's their fault, but it's kind of hard when you're stating a point or whatever like that, and you know a lot about like when it comes to political stuff and people trying to debate with you. And I'm like, I'm not the person you want to debate with about this, because every point you make, I'm going to turn that point down. Like, you do not want to argue with me about political things. And I'm just like, sometimes I just gotta stop texting. I'm like, now you sound a little, so like, sometimes I just be like, I'm just going to keep my comments to myself. Let me find I need like a friend or something who's actually on my level when it comes to political issues, because I cannot debate or argue with somebody about things they don't know. Like, and that's another reason why people need to know their rights, the whole segment topic, because if you don't know the things or simple things of basic human rights, how are you going to think you can debate with me on political issues? Like, it's just simple things like that. So I was like, let me not post this. Like, I have a whole paragraph typed out. I'm like,
not a paragraph.
Like, let me put it in my notes or something like that. Like I had to do things like that, because you just be like, dang, like, they're not on my level. I need a new following. I need everything. I probably need a new political page. I need a political page where people only follow when that's their interest or something like that. Like,
go ahead, Mom, General. Thank you, Trackstar.
Yo, they love to debate. And like, just to say, like, it's all police officers, even school police officers. I know we had a conversation about that like a month ago, but it's a short story, y'all. But when I was like getting bullied and stuff, like I told the officer what was going on. Like it was something with like a gun and me getting robbed and stuff like that. And basically, I trusted this school police officer to like protect me or like you know stay in touch with me about things. Or if I need a break from a classroom, then I can like come to his office and stuff. And it got to a point where he locked his office all the time. It came to a point where I called his phone. He blocked my number and Miss Joni's number because me and Miss Joni went up to the school and talked to him. So, it's not only these, Caucasian and white officers. It's also black officers as well that really don't give a damn about us at all. And sometimes that's why we don't trust so many adults because of things like this. Like, you're supposed to protect us. You're supposed to. It's like that's why I said like in the comments like 2 days ago. Like sometimes we walk in these school buildings and we don't know if we can trust the adults. If a gunman can come in the school building and, God forbid, knock on wood, like shoot up like a whole bunch of students, how are we gonna be able to trust you if you can't trust us with if we can't trust you with something so small to even like just check up on us or like advice to lunch or something like that because we go through issues and mind you like I was going through depression and like I said before like with the teenagers killing themselves like I was going through that depression back in freshman year. So, thank God for Heart Smiles because, that helped me get out of depression and stuff like that. But yeah, like, I feel like adults should know that any moment, like, a child can take their life away. And it's good to have these conversations and, catch up with them, especially in school, because we go home and you never know what goes on at home. Like, sometimes your home might be your safe zone, but school might also be your safe zone as well. It's some kids and teenagers that's at home that don't eat or, get abused at home and they come to school and we expect to be all good. We expect to learn and, go back home and deal with the same issue and come back to school. But just imagine going home and going back to school, dealing with the same issues and dealing with all these people. And now you have nothing else left to do but to kill yourself. And that's why it's important to have these programs and organizations that to have these kids in there so they can like learn about self-love and self-confidence and team building and stuff like that and like self-encouragement and respect and things like that. Like we need that in programs and schools. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Marta General. Y'all, we never have enough time. And I got to get a little bit of adult time in with my family league friends. I got to get ready to let y'all go. But before I do, I need one jewel from y'all. And I want you to think about it like in this context. So my family league friends, they came here because they want to learn how to better create space for those hard, sensitive conversations. If you had to leave them with just one jewel on how they could do that or how they could be better at doing that specifically, what would that one jewel be? Track star.
Sometimes I learned this myself. Sometimes you just gotta shut up and listen. So that sounded kind of harsh, but when you just shut up and listen to what they have, like you can have a couple questions of you can have a couple questions to guide them, to start the conversation, but after you got them to start that conversation, they're not gonna stop. So just listen, take down notes, and after you feel like they're done or they say they don't have nothing else, now you go to the point where how can we fix this? And actually run through with that. Like don't ask just because you feel like you have to, but ask because you want to. So just listening, writing down points, and just saying, okay, what are the next steps now? So yeah.
Yes, thank you so much. Marta General.
All right, so I got a jewel for the adults and for the youth as well, but I'm gonna keep it short, y'all. First, create a space of belonging. Like, make sure that whenever they come in your classroom or program, make sure they feel welcome. Also, give resources because, we struggle with a lot of things. And if we come to you to talk about something, like Zion said, shut up and listen. Like, you are a therapist at that time. So, yeah. Also, like, have an open heart. Like, write us a letter, invite us to lunch with you, or give us a hug. Like, sometimes we need a hug sometimes. Like, everybody need a hug. But, yeah, like, just be very supportive. And for young people, y'all, I don't know if y'all noticed, and, today I was speaking with my tongue a lot because my teeth is hurting like crap right now. but I would not miss this session because, you know, I have to be on here and I have to support Zion and Lene too. Like, if you're ever going through something, if something hurting your body or your body aching, yes, sometimes you may take a break, but in this kind of issue, like, you know, you really need to bring up these topics. We need to, you know, put this in front of the table. Like, we need to put this, and, you know, we can't put this behind us. We have to, like, you know, force this to the adults' attention and stuff like that. So, yeah, that's my joke.
Thank you so much, Marta General, and thank you for being here, even though you got a toothache. Like, that's the worst thing to have. I didn't even know you was in pain. You got that growth glow. Lene the activist, mic drop on us. Your one jewel.
Oh, I had two. I've written two down. They're short. They're like one line, probably like 6 or less words each.
Go ahead.
I got one for the adults. I said unexpected kindness is a powerful gift. So if you are going to gift anyone who you are going to mentor or teach, have unexpected kindness and allow them to be, you know, under your wing. One for the youth is be resilient in your power. I like to write a lot of my stuff down because now I got to put it in my journal because I was just thinking about it. And, you know, if you are going to be out here being powerful, you need to be resilient because people are going to try to knock your voice out. You know, people are going to, you know, try to set, you know, those blocks. You got to be resilient. You got to hold your ground. You got to stand up to it. Okay? That's my TED Talk for today. Y'all enjoy yourselves.
Yes, I love it. Hey, yo, Abby was screaming in the comments like, let her give her 2 jewels. We got you, baby. We got you. But thank y'all so much. I really appreciate y'all for taking the time to have this very thoughtful and meaningful conversation. So I'll see y'all later, though. Appreciate y'all. My Family League friends, don't go nowhere. We need our adult talk, y'all. We got to wrap this thing up. Man, it was all right, though, wasn't it? It was, yo, it was great. Listen, if y'all liked it, y'all got to definitely make sure y'all tell Miss Amy and tell the people at Family League or whatever. Like, tell them this the only kind of training you want to come to. Like, yo, I appreciate y'all so much for showing them love and for showing them appreciation and for just all your good and amazing energy, even through the comments. I'm going to leave y'all with a couple of jewels from an adult perspective that I hope that you guys got out of this conversation. I do want to just real quick wrap this up. I saw Marjorie and Chelsea going back and forth in the comments about like Higher, Healing Youth Alliance versus Heart Smiles and all that. So just for everybody, our heartbeats, we focus on building them up as leaders. We focus on building leadership capacity so that they are able to create things outside of Heart Smiles, independent of Heart Smiles, that is for youth and by youth. So Healing Youth Alliance is a situation that young people created to address mental health. It just so happens that the young people who created it are heartbeats. They came from Heart Smiles. Like, duh. But yes, Healing Youth Alliance is its own thing. And if y'all are following Heart Smiles on social media, you'll see Healing Youth Alliance stuff on there so that you can connect with them as well. But like, they focus strictly on mental health, and they actually have a town hall happening next week, Tuesday. Check the social media right here on this live, talking about all things mental health. And there are other groups that the Heartbeats have started that are for youth, by youth. And if anybody is interested in having Heartbeats come and facilitate some sessions for you at your school or your program or whatever, or even co-facilitating with you or with another adult or whatever, perfectly fine. We do that. Make sure your budget in order. But we got you. We got you. They will show up and show out every single time. All right. I literally only got 60 seconds. So get your pens out. Let's get these jewels. Jewel number 1, y'all. This is from an adult perspective. You are not expected to have all the answers or even to participate, especially when it's something that you're not knowledgeable about or something you're not comfortable about. Creating the space and participating are two different things. The priority is where you stand, that you allow for the discussion to be held in a meaningful and thoughtful way. That's it. Even if you are uncomfortable joining the conversation or adding your perspective, your job is to just make sure that they have space to do it, even if you disagree. And that's where you got to let go of that adultism. When they having conversations that you don't necessarily agree with or you can't really vibe with, remember, that ain't our job. Our job is just to create the space for it to happen. The second thing, y'all, write this down and say this in the mirror. It's not about you. Somebody say it with me. It's not about me. It's not about you. Say that to yourself when you feel adultism creeping up on you. Regardless of the topics, regardless of the issues or the situations, take yourself out of the situation. Mission number one is to always support the youth. And if ever you find yourself wrestling about whether or not you want to support the young person, I ain't even gonna lie, y'all. It's time for you to step aside and let somebody else step in to support. Know when it's not you. You can't handle everything. You're not built to be able to handle all situations at all times. And if ever you find yourself wrestling over that, like, yo, can I support this young person? Then automatically know that the answer is no. If you got to think about it, no. And there's no harm in that. But don't you put the brakes on it. Politely step aside, do a two-step if you want to look cute doing it, but bring somebody else in that is willing and capable to support that young person. Because what you can't do, you can't block the growth. And then the last thing, hey, Carlos, stop playing with me. No, yo. The last thing, and they said it loud and clear, yo. I hope somebody was listening. Shut up. Shut up. If you find yourself talking more than the youth, yo, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. If you find yourself talking more, if your voice is the loudest in the room, yo, with these young people, you are doing it wrong, and it's time to take several steps back. The only exception to the rule is when you are actively teaching on a subject matter or the young people, they asked you to give advice about something. If you really want to make space for these hard and sensitive conversations, then you really have to allow young people to gain autonomy over the entire space. It doesn't happen if you don't do that. I hope y'all caught that. Hey, yo, one time for the one time, real quick. If somebody want to earn lunch on me, yo, one thing that you learned, yo, put it in the chat right now. One thing that you learned from this conversation, yo, and don't just put me something that you learned, but you ain't going to go put it into practice. Put me something that you learned, and you're going to go out and you're going to actively put that into action. Put me one thing. Marta General, I see you still on here. Marta General, you pick my lunch winner for me. They about to put it in the chat, yo. Thank y'all so much. Thank you, Carlos. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much, Mandy. We really appreciate you. Y'all, one thing that you learned. Thank you, Abby. One thing that you learned. Hey, Abby says, shut up. Yes. Okay. Do we got somebody giving Abby some competition? Do we got somebody? I learned that our students are absolutely amazing and need to be heard. Yes, we need to actively listen and not feel the need to always talk. Boom. Hey, yo, yes. Hey, Marta General, you still on here? Yo, pick my winner for me. Who deserve lunch on me, Marta General? Just put their name. You ain't got to put no explanation. Just put their name, Marta General. These students would be amazing at speech. Hey, absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, Charles, stop trying to cheat, yo. We need to stop and listen. Yes, Abby. Thank you. Yo said, where's my lunch? Hey, yo. Marta General ain't on here. Big 16, since you still on here, because Marta General, man, He bluffed me out. You pick my winner real quick. Pick my winner for me, Big 16. I feel you. Yes, Mandy. She shared the live. Yeah. Mario, I hope I said that right. Safe spaces for youth. Yes. Yes, I love it. Mr. Elaborator, stop playing. Karima, be real, be recognized. I love it. Abby, get lunch. Okay. Big 16 picked you, Abby. Abby, go to Heart Smiles MD right now on Instagram. DM me your Cash App, shorty. I'm giving you $25 lunch on you from Heart Smiles. Hey, y'all, I really appreciate y'all time. Thank you. Hey, look, and there go Marta General. Let all of us heartbeats pick. Marta General, you wasn't here, so I had to go with Charles. He picked Abby. Big 16 pick Abby. Abby, put your Cash App in my DM. We sending you $25. Hey, thank y'all so much for being the very best group ever. Don't tell my other group I said that. But thank y'all so much. And again, yo, I can't stress this enough. If y'all want to see more stuff like this, yo, make sure y'all let Miss Amy and them know at the Family League. Make sure y'all do your surveys and let them know this the type of training that you want. You don't want no other kind of training except for this kind of training. I'll see y'all later. Please stay connected, y'all. I'm out of here.